Morning, Joe here from I Wander UK. Today is day 48 of the Southwest Coastal Path Challenge. I stopped just a little bit east of Seatown last night, as in Seaton, and today I'm heading for Seatown, Seatown. The first bit I've got to do is to Lyme Regis, which the book and there's even a sign advise you is arduous. It's not a word in my vocabulary. Let's just hope it's not gnarly, but they advise that 7.5 miles takes 3.5 to 4 hours. I don't think it's up and down so much. I think it's because you're going through woodlands. There's a bit here that had a landslide a number of years ago. So it's slightly windy now. It was windy last night. I didn't sleep very well. I was up during the night for a couple of hours. So when my alarm went off this morning at 6:30, I stopped it and went back to sleep again for about 40 minutes. But we're up now, get stuff sorted and we get the day started. I was just thinking, I didn't mean arduous ain't in my vocabulary. I meant arduous isn't in my vocabulary. I use the word gnarly. I'm 60, I've never used the word arduous in my life. All packed up and ready to go, and all I've left is a bit of flat grass which will bounce back again. Just thinking it's so much nicer when it's not raining in the morning. It's the second or third time in the last week or so that I've been able to cook breakfast outside, and it's lovely because I had like a couple of sausages. I like to cook them first and then cut them in half and then cook the inside as well. A couple of bits of crispy bacon, some beans, and a couple of nice soft fried eggs. Fried eggs, no chicken snot in them, not crispy, but runny on the inside, but no snot. Lovely. No, I didn't, I just had some porridge, but it is nice to cook it outside. Just past the coastal path sign, this is identified as Rousden Landslip. I think it's R-O-U-S, possibly E-D-E-N, landslip. Which I believe is something like 800 acres just slid down the hill. And that's the first bit we'll be walking through. It's a nice little tucked away wild camping spot. That would have suited me. I was a bit on the slope last night. Not complaining, it's just the way it is. This little bit is literally just past the sign. They've got information boards up, and it's just past the sign for Goat Island, which was a landslide in, landslip in 1839. So not recent. It all just slid down and then left a little gap behind it so all the water could get in behind it as well. And everything's just grown back and nature's taken over. I was just thinking, this would be a great place to come out for a couple of nights, like really wild camping, you know, woodland type stuff. More likely in a bivvy bag or even a hammock. I'll be honest, I haven't got much experience in hammocks. I've got one with the intention of getting out, but just haven't got out and used it yet, but I'd like to. But there's just trails going off everywhere, and make your own little trails and chop down trees or dead branches of wood, long dead, like a little campfire would be excellent. Just get yourself lost in there for a few days. Does it get any better? I was literally thinking a few minutes ago how lucky I am, because the weather's been dry for a few days and the wind's been blowing, so it's dried out all this path, because I imagine on a wet day this would make it a lot harder. This little box you can see previously, but at the moment that's quite firm. But if it was raining, or it had been raining, would it make it a lot more difficult? This is like, you know, just chopped off wood everywhere. It's lovely to be in here. I haven't been in woodland for 5 or 6 days, and then it was only for a short time. I didn't realise quite how much I liked it. I do at home. I'll go out for a night out into the woodland, but this is like real woodland. You can get yourself lost away from everywhere. Literally was just enjoying stepping in and out of the roots and over, and the path changed to like flint, like a mixture of flint and chalk, I guess. And I punted a frigging flint with my right foot and stretched my left tendon just when I was starting to forget about them. I think that might come back and haunt me. Just broke out the woodland for a little bit. Well, I'm in the woodland, but just these little patches in the sun. And just through there is the sea. And the difference in temperature, because when you're in the woods, it's in the shade, you get that cool that only under trees can do. So the contrast is huge. Difference, I mean. The difference between being in the shade and then popping out here in the sun. But back in the shade, I guess. Just broke out and a quick view of Charlton Bay. But as you can see, it's not going to last very long. Taking a look around, waiting for a pterodactyl to fly past. Very impressive. This section through the woodland, I'm going to nickname Pay Attention Trail. And what I mean by Pay Attention Trail is it can go from compacted mud straight onto flint and chalk, hard underfoot and slippery, to steps, back to roots, to mud balls, and it just keeps changing. It's interesting, really interesting, but you need to pay attention all the time. He says, just about to not pay attention and miss my footing on this. And I do mean pay attention, literally. I've punted a flint with my right foot and pulled my left tendon, and I've overstepped one of the wooden steps coming down so far and pulled the left tendon. And I am being relatively careful. After just getting used to the adventure of going through the proper woodlands, punting flints, tripping over roots, sliding through little bits of mud, it turns into tarmac. There is tarmac underneath this. Just got leaf mould all over the top, which, like I say, takes the adventure out of the way of it. And when it first starts, there is a slope coming up, so if you left Seatown today and walked up that slope, it's not as bad as that. It's a little bit more gradual and just goes up in stages. There's some white cliffs. That looks like a block wall that's been rendered. Minehead cliffs. It's hard to get some idea of scale, but follow this tree up and they are above that. Just a sheer drop down. There's an information board at Minehead Cliffs. It's after when you're on the tarmac, and the Minehead Cliffs are obviously on your left hand side, but there's with the information board, turn right and there's a little path to breakaway, just so you can catch a quick glimpse of the sea. But it might actually go down. The tarmac path doesn't last that long, it's just a slope to give you a bit of variation. You're soon back into the adventure again. Stones, pebbles, roots, puddles, the lot. It's brilliant. You break out through the main thicket of woods, I guess, and there's another one of those wooden signs board, it's an arduous walk. And then from there, get one of those like, I don't know, like an access road, I guess. Tarmac road, like this coming up, but it's not as steep as the other one. It's a mild uphill. It's not quite clear enough yet to get a really good view, but there's the island of Portland, or Isle of Portland. Central screen now. Try and get in a bit. No, not clear enough. Diversions diverted me, would you believe it, up into these woods. Bluebells, let's hope it's the right way. After you dropped into the Lyme Regis, the haul back out again is, I'm not sure if it's the tarmac road or not, but you need to go all the way up the tarmac road, up a normal road, till you get past the golf course. And you literally walk straight across the middle of the golf course, drop down onto a gravelly path. After you come through the golf course, turn right. I was really hungry this morning. I haven't had a proper meal for a couple of days. I've been snacking. So I really smashed it this morning, that first bit from Seatown through to Lyme Regis, and I was there before 12:30. Really pleased with myself. First pub I went in, walked in and the chef was on his way out. He said, "Oh, I picked a good place, I wouldn't work in any other." As I walked through, a young lad said, "Oh, you want a table for one?" And I said, "Yeah, to eat?" I said, "Yes, please." He said, "Oh, we're fully booked." Even though there's perhaps 10 to 20% of the chairs taken, but I get it, they're already booked. And then he asked me, would I want a drink? And I said, "No, I just told you I wanted something sweet," so I walked out. Walked to the one opposite, and it's a village pub in the town with some outside seating around the back alley. And I think he had ideas, he was concierge. And I asked if they did roast dinners, and he said no, but they may do up the road. So I started walking up the road. By this time, getting a little bit frustrated and disillusioned, I guess. Disillusioned, whatever the word is. So as I was walking up, my legs started cramping up a little bit, and I thought, I'm not going to go up this hill when I know I've got another one afterwards. So I saw a little cafe. So yeah, so I saw like a little trendy cafe, looked alright. Surfboards and stuff on the roof. And did pasties. I thought I'd just settle for a pasty for now and perhaps get something later if I get to Seatown in time. So I had a pasty and a cup of coffee, and I feel like I've been raped. When the girl that took my order for a pasty, they said, "Would you like a little bit of side salad with that?" And said a pinch of rocket, 2 thin slices of tomato and 2 slices of cucumber. And for that, I think they rated it as a posh pasty. Instead of £4, charged me £7.50. I've been mugged off, haven't I? I got literally last weekend, I got a full Sunday roast beef dinner with all the trimmings for less than I just paid for a pasty and a coffee. And if you don't know me by now, that binds the shit out of me. That'd be the first view of Charmouth then. I know when you get down, you got to go straight back up a hill. That looks like it there. Charmouth. Centre screen now is Golden Cap, which is the next lump I've got to get over. Apparently 191 metres, the highest point on the south coast. Let's see what that brings. And the centre screen now is Portland. It's a bit hazy, it's gone cloudy, and the air's gone colder, but after you drop down into Charmouth, which is very, very busy today, but it is Easter Sunday, you'll see the slope in front of you. Just got to go for it. I chose to just keep going until I could see the next horizon rather than looking back. Because in my head, I had a boots off session, which is lovely because it's cooled my feet back down again. But it's well worth it. Up the slope, goes into a little footpath, up that, and just keep going up. The view back to Charmouth and back to Lyme Ridge is good as well, but just keep going, try to get to the top, and there's a lovely round bench on the top. You get a great view of the Golden Cap, and hopefully the weather will be clearer for you so you'll be able to see Portland. I can just about make it up, but I can't pick it up on the camera, on the phone obviously. So, take your breath. It's been a good day's walk today, a good day. Be like, finish it, be proud of yourself. Looks a lot bigger from here. It wouldn't be so high if you didn't drop down. It wouldn't be a challenge, would there? Let's just drop some of that elevation you gained, just to make it more of a challenge to get back up again. Nice. When you've spotted Golden Cap, you make a bit of a descent, down a couple of footbridges, over a couple of footbridges, sorry, and then up a little ascent, and then a nice gentle sort of green pasture land that sort of gives you a little bit of a more height. Unfortunately, it drops back down again, and then in a moment I think it's not going to be gentle pasture land we'll be walking along. It's got something else in mind. We're descending a little bit again now, and I guess we're heading, hold on, what's happening? Oh, don't know what happened there. We're heading for that gate, and it looks like we descend a bit more, but then it looks like the path we'll be going up. Just through the last gate for the National Trust. You're looking for a spot for a wild camp. Oh my god, I'm envious. There's lots of places around here I can swim straight away, with nice and level before, and you could tackle this tomorrow nice and fresh. There it is. I'll try and zoom in a bit to give you an idea of scale. There's people sort of about halfway up. I'll try. Just about see them there, one in red, one in blue. Yeah. Right, let's get on it. It's not like it starts with steps. Hold on. It does. To make it more fun, we'll drop down some steps first, just to give you the maximum amount of elevation gain. Sorry, that's my knees creaking, making me squeak. And down we go. Oh, and a nice little footbridge before we start the climb. Oh, and even like a gaming ninja, isn't it? And there's the beginning of the steps. Got to the fence line and taking a look back before my heartbeat burst my eardrums. Green and pleasant land. I came from Lyme Ridge is there in the middle, and I came round on the other side of there this morning. Positive spin for a second when we get to the top of this. Once you get to the top of this, be it 191 metres at the trig point, the highest point on the south coast, you can absolutely guarantee you're going downhill after this, and there isn't anything higher than this. So, positive spin. And there's what we've got to look forward to tomorrow.